Hello friends, welcome back to Technique. Today we'll be doing the detailed camera review of the newly launched OnePlus Nord 4. So OnePlus has launched the new Nord 4 in the mid-range segment. Now this device comes with a dual camera setup and also a good selfie camera. So let's analyze how good the camera experience is for this price segment. So before going into the detailed camera review, if this is your first time on this channel, do hit that subscribe button and also hit the bell icon to get notified of all the videos we publish. Let's go to the camera hardware. Now this device comes with a 50 megapixel Sony Lightyear camera. It is an f1.8 aperture and it supports optical image stabilization and electronic image stabilization. Now the secondary camera is an 8 megapixel shooter with field of view of 112 degrees. Now the primary camera can do 4K, 60 and 30 fps. Now the front camera is a 16 megapixel shooter with f2.0 aperture. So that's the camera hardware of the OnePlus Nord 4. So let's see how good the camera experience is. So let's first have a look at the daylight captures taken with this device. So looking at the daylight captures, you can see that there is good amount of details on offer. The dynamic range also looks good. The colors are done really well actually, even though it's slightly on the richer tone, but they are not saturated. They look definitely good, and overall the sky colors and the sky rendering with HDR looks pretty good, but at times the shadows do get crushed a bit, but not a major concern though. But overall I would say the details and sharpness levels, even when you zoom into the picture, there is good amount of details on offer. So the daylight captures definitely looks good with the Sony sensor. Even though the sensor has been downgraded from the previous generation, we don't see any sort of major issues here, and the overall quality definitely looks good. Now moving on to the 8 megapixel ultra wide, the shooter is kind of average, I would say. While the colors are very similar to the primary camera, the details and sharpness levels are quite average. So you can occasionally use the ultra wide angle camera, although the sharpness is not that impressive. Now moving on to the close-up shots, once again the OnePlus Nord 4 does an impressive job here. The colors are done really well, and the sharpness levels and details are also quite good, and there is no saturation issues here as well. And overall I would say you can see here the background blur created by the 50 megapixel shooter while taking close-up shots looks good actually. So once again the 50 megapixel shooter does a pretty good job. Now moving on to the portraits. Now you can take portraits in 2x as well as 1x zoom. While the 2x is not telephoto, it's just the in-sensor zoom. Both the portraits definitely looks good. The skin tones are done pretty well, and the dynamic range also looks good, and the edge detection also looks pretty good actually. So personally, I like this portraits taken with both the 2x and the 1x on the OnePlus Nord 4. So what do you guys think about the portrait? Do let me know in the comment section. Now moving on to the low light. Now here you can see that in terms of low light conditions, the OnePlus Nord 4 does a really good job once again with optical image stabilization on offer. The details are good, and the dynamic range once again looks good. The sky colors are done pretty well, and even when it comes to extreme low light, you can see that there is good amount of details on offer. The sharpness levels are also done well, and the noise is controlled actually. In fact, noise reduction is done pretty well, and there is absolutely very less noise in the photo. So once again the low light experience is quite good. Finally moving to the selfie camera. The 16 megapixel shooter can deliver pretty good results. The skin tones are good, and the colors are also done pretty good. Although at times the skin tones, there is a hint of reddish tone, but not a major concern though. Again, selfies are more of a personal choice. We personally like the selfie experience on the OnePlus Nord 4. Now the portrait selfies turned out to be quite good, although the edge detection is not perfect, it's still implemented well. Now the low light selfies also turned out to be decent effect. Now moving on to the video recording. The phone can record videos in 4K 60 fps, and here you can see that the details are good, the dynamic range also looks good, and the colors are also done pretty well. Now there is also good optical image stabilization and EIS combination, and the stabilization is done well. The 4K 30 fps video footage is also very similar. The details are good, and the clarity is also once again good. Now the 1080p 30 and 60 fps footage also looks very similar with stabilization offered. So if you're looking for a camera with a good video recording capabilities in this price segment, the OnePlus Nord 4 is definitely a good phone to consider for video capabilities. Now the phone can record 1080p resolution videos in with ultra wide angle camera. This is pretty much average. Details are quite decent, but pretty much average quality. So this is the front facing camera sample taken with the OnePlus Nord 4 with the stabilization turned on, and it can record videos only in 1080p resolution. So you can judge yourself how good the clarity of the videos and also the audio output from the video. So that is a detailed camera review of the OnePlus Nord 4. So summing up, how good is the camera on the OnePlus Nord 4? We feel this is quite a good camera, especially the primary camera, the 50 megapixel Sony sensor and the 16 megapixel selfie camera does a quite good job, especially with respect to the daylight captures, the portraits, low light and even the selfies, and does a pretty good job. Even the 50 megapixel shooter video recording also turned out to be pretty good. In fact, this is one of the good cameras in this price segment with good video recording capabilities. But then the 8 megapixel shooter is quite average at its best. So that was the detailed camera review of the OnePlus Nord 4. So what do you guys think about the camera on the OnePlus Nord 4? Do let us know your thoughts in the comment section. This is Normal signing off. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you in our next video. Have a great day.